So as for the first question, why do you guys feel that men tend to criticize other men about whether or not they're single?
You know what I think it is? I think it's like I feel like the older you get, the more pressure you have to be with somebody.
Mm,
And
true.
I think a lot of older generations, like both genders do it,
Mm,
but they do it in a different way.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
know coming from the Mexican culture, uh, we sometimes get the question like, "Oh, y la novia o el novio," which
Mm.
translates to the girlfriend or the boyfriend.
That was for me, y'all.
And so
That's for Jesus
I
too.
I just feel like it's just a weird age thing where it's like, oh, you're getting older, and they don't want you to be alone or whatever.
Mm.
So I think that's one of the
But you
reasons
don't
why.
think like you never got that when we were in high school?
Yeah, that started for me. It started like in middle school, like with
When I
jokes.
was in
It was
preschool.
no, it was little jokes and stuff like
Who
that.
are you taking a nap time, huh?
Yeah, it was like little.
Who you going to the sock hop with?
It started as little jokes, but then like over time, I felt like it got more serious.
I think in high school it's like way more serious though.
Yeah,
Because in middle school, stupid shit. But in high school, I think I've seen that like with other guys like
don't,
that were single or whatever.
don't let you be a woman in your early 20s. Watch how your aunts and uncles are gonna be like, "Oh, where's the boyfriend?" Because I think personally, I think they have it way harder than us.
So you that you're turning 30 soon, do you feel like do you feel self conscious in any way like being single? Oh, not that I'm trying to throw your business out there.
Honestly, nah. I
You don't
think
care no more.
no, I don't really like. I don't put myself out there, so it's kind of like I don't really have like.
You heard that, ladies?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I don't really put myself out there, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
I don't feel I have that I have the right to like complain about it.
You don't let me put you out there.
Oh my god. But like, what about the rest of you? Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you think?
Um, I'm with about to say I'm with Jesus. Like just coming from the like top from where you was at. I think it definitely is. It's that little bit of pressure where I think it happens on both genders, but it is different. Where there's women they got their struggles where I think on their end they mostly get the reference of the biological clock and all that stuff. But then for us as men, it's more like it's almost like this whole if you're not quote unquote a man by like society standards, if you're not partnered up with someone or in pursuit of a woman, because the concept of manhood is about constant pursuit, pursuing a career, pursuing this, pursuing that. So then if you don't have a female to kind of be around your arm, sometimes it gets looked at kind of like, yo, like wait a minute.
And they look at you like you can't pull anybody or
Well,
whatever.
see, it's funny you mentioned kind of like your family's end, because I think on my family's end, it's kind of similar to almost like what happened with me in high school, where it's just they don't they don't really make much like noise about it up until they start seeing the members in the family start pairing off, whether it's like with people that they know or outside, and then then the pool gets more and more shallow, and then you start feeling that there's a spotlight on you where it's like so your brother, your cousin, what's going on with you now? And it's like, and that is an awkward position to be in, because even in high school, like two friends of mine from freshman year, we shared the same bus. The both of them were technically involved with they was technically involved romantically with some seniors. And the problem is when it's three of us, two of them paired off, one isn't. This equation isn't going to go well for the person that isn't, because then it's just like, what are you doing, when are you coming, and all that stuff. And so like kind of even leaning into the like last part about it doesn't affect me, only because number one, I know that I am in pursuit. I also know that, I do have a desire for it, because sometimes when people talk about the concept of being single, they get it looked at like, because, you don't want it and this, and that. And it's like, even if that's the case, that's their choice. But you shouldn't be trying to make them feel small about it or make them feel less of a person because of it. So like I know that I still have my desires for like a partner, relationship, family, kids, and all that, and a pickety fence, whatever. But I know that that's going to be done on my time. It's not going to just because my parents says, my friends say, the people are partnering up, or if I got to do some like a reunion with old friends and I see that they're engaged and all that, I'm not going to let outside pressure get to me on that because I'm not about to rush into something. And not to mention some of these relationships that we look at on the surface, they look great, but we have no idea what's behind that. And I'd rather build something that I know is solid versus something that just looks flashy for y'all, but is dysfunctional between the two of us. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair. What about your thoughts, Richie?
One thing that I find funny is when people think that if you're single as a man, you're gay.
Oh,
And it's like, do you think that gay guys don't date?
Oh my
like,
God.
like someone needs to talk about it eventually, man.
I get what they're trying to. I get the gist of what they're trying to tell me, but yeah, for me, the times that I have been single, I'm not trying to glow or anything, but the times that I have been single, yeah, it's been kind of rough because I grew up with that type of mindset, because of the surroundings and whether it was family or the kids at school, whatever. That if you were single, that meant that your value went down as a man, and not only it's not only getting a girl, it's also the type of girl that you get, and sometimes the amount of women that you get. And it every interaction with a different man, is different. Like I've had friendships with guys who, if I dated someone on the heavier side, they would criticize. If I dated somebody that they physically didn't find attractive, they would criticize. Now, why? If, at the end of the day, I'm the one that is dating them, I don't understand that. I don't care. Like, like, me and you had that conversation in the past, dude. Like, Ian and me, when he was dating somebody and people weren't approving of that relationship, like, to me, I'm not the one dating her. So I really don't care, however she looks to me, because at the end of the day, you're the one that is dating her. But there's a lot of guys who do shit like that, and then they get defensive the minute that they date somebody that, it's like, really? But yeah, you still have audacity to go around, ooh, how can you date that girl? Or how can you date that girl? For me,
or you're supposed to see them in the same lighting, like
don't get me started. But for me, I've been criticized for returning back with ex girlfriends. Where people are like, oh, aren't you bored? Or, oh, why are you going back? And it's like, if you have an emotional connection with somebody, right? Surprise, if you connect with somebody emotionally, then why shouldn't you? If you guys can work things out, it's different than, if you have a toxic relationship and you're just going back because that's your comfort zone. But I've been criticized for that. And again, it's dudes that do shit like that. But yeah, when it comes to you, and they're over here telling you, oh yeah, I'm dating this 45-year-old lady, or I'm dating this chick that is homeless, or something that society wouldn't approve of or would make fun of. And it's like,
who approves of homelessness?
At least if they're legal.
Yeah, like, I don't care as long as it's consensual and illegal. Do you? But I don't understand why there are some guys that want to play this like they need to approve of your choice in women. I know that technically leads to one of the questions, but they need to approve of who you date or whether or not you do date.
It's pick and choosy bro code, dude. I'm just gonna call it.
Do you guys think that girls do the same thing?
Oh yeah,
I agree.
I've seen.
100%, dude.
You've seen?
Yeah, they do.
Hell, I've had women criticize me when I was single.
But see, but you know what? I'm just gonna put this out there. It's funny that sometimes that critique comes from people that first off, low key, on top of that, they honestly wish they were in your position, and if they ever got an opening to slide through, they would. And it, exactly, because a lot of them, like, that whole that statement, like, sometimes single people keep people single, is because they just be dumping this, and that. But in truth, it's like, that's something you wish people would approach you. You wish someone would actually take you to that level of, like, a partner and all of that. And it hasn't happened for you. but it happened to your friend, and rather than try to evaluate what's up with you, what are you putting out there, you don't want to tell your friend basically just, but I look better than him, or but I'm more than this to her. You don't want to be honest about that feeling. So the best thing you do is start tearing down their choices, because you don't want to have that conversation with your quote unquote friend that you're upset, and just at least be on the upfront about it. So you try to tear down their partner.
And also, you can be single and be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you could be in a relationship and be miserable. Trust me, I know. So, to me, before we move on to the next question, my advice to anybody that's out there and maybe are struggling with being single, it's not about whether or not you're in a relationship. It's whether or not you're happy, and whether or not the relationship you're either in or you and the mindset of being single is a good one, is a healthy one. So don't let people hear, get into a relationship, get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, get laid, get ass, because at the end of the day, if anything goes wrong, they're not gonna be right there cleaning that mess up, but you.
That's your bill.
Any advice, Jesus, for the single people?
Honestly, I couldn't have put it better myself.
Get the fuck out of here.
Honestly, no, because it's like, it's very true. It's like, you got to remember that you can be, again, like what you said, single and happy. You don't have to submit yourself to a relationship,
And I agree. Just what you guys got to work it at your pace and all of that. And that can be difficult, especially when the people that's closest to you be trying to put that pressure, sometimes directly, other times to be little snide comments and remarks. But there's nothing wrong with you going at your pace and all of that. It doesn't mean that you're not attractive, that if it's like the sibling thing where the other one always attracts, and then you're just like kind of that, it doesn't mean that they're more and you're less. It's
or you're not gonna find somebody at some point.
Exactly.
If you believe in a God, then have faith that, or if you don't believe in God but you believe in, I don't know, that the universe is going to put the right person in your life, as long as you are working on yourself, you're working on your life. And trust me, I always say there's someone for everyone.
No, you don't. That's my line, you jerk.
All right, moving on to question 2.